Hey, what is going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another Zombies video, and today we are going to be talking about my personal favourite map in Zombies, Mob of the Dead. Now, in Revelations, you can find little radios around the map that will tell you the story from a reporter of Mob of the Dead. He sat down with Stanley Ferguson, who we know is the night guard at Alcatraz, who surveyed, who looked over these characters, Finn, Al, the Weasel, and who was the last one? Sal. Pretty sure I've just mixed up the names there. Yes, I'm 100% sure I did. But anyway, like I said, you can find a couple of radios in Revelations that will tell you the story of Revelations from the reporter's point of view. Now, this we pretty much knew before. He tells us a very similar story to the one we heard from Stanley himself in Mob of the Dead. So if you are very familiar with the Mob of the Dead storyline, you should pretty much know what they are talking about in this radio. But I'm sure Treyarch intended this, or put this in the game, to recap and give knowledge to the people who don't know about Mob of the Dead. Maybe you haven't played it, maybe you don't know about that story. This radio gives you a perfect overview of exactly what happened between our 4 inmates. So I'm going to play it for you guys. Hopefully you enjoy the video. Remember to leave a like rating if you do. Also, for God's sake, this is not old news. I know the radios have been out for about a week now, but I've been waiting to cover it because, one, there's more important things to cover. So no, it's not late. Just wanted to give you guys my perspective when I'm ready. But anyway, without further ado, here we go. Enjoy. It's also important to note that this is the same reporter that Mr. Rapt sent to Morgue City to do some research on that city. We have the same reporter reporting the story from Shadows of Evil, as in Mob of the Dead. And also, if you listen to the Shadows of Evil radio, the reporter will say, Mr. Rapt, I have no idea why you sent me to this city to do some research on Stanley. Could Mr. Rapt, who we think is the Shadow Man, have sent this reporter to do this interview with Stanley Ferguson? That might be something to think about, but here we go.
So I just sat down with Stanley Ferguson, night guard at Alcatraz. He told me a heck of a tale. A few years back, 4 inmates, 3 mobsters, and some weasel had this brilliant plan to escape the rock. I know, they sound like real geniuses, these guys. Anyway, this weasel was quite the talker. He had these guys convinced they could escape. He told them he could build a plane and that together they'd all fly right off the rock. Now, the weasel had plans and drawings and everything. I saw them. But even if they built it, no way that baby would ever fly. These mobsters, it's lost on me. They were smart guys. I mean, Sal DeLuca? No way you can convince a man of his caliber something so absurd. So I guess at some point the whole sorry truth came out and the weasel found himself cornered. They did him good. Left him bleeding to death on the cold stone roof. They all got the chair for it, and that was that. Sad to think that 3 guys like that could find themselves swinging, all because they bought into the lies of a delusional con man.
So there we go, that is the reporter telling us what happened at Alcatraz. That's from what is being told by Stanley Ferguson, who, as he said, was the night guard at the Rock for a number of years. Now, in the intro cutscene for Mob of the Dead, we saw our inmates killed Stanley, but just like we did for the Easter egg, that was part of the loop. In real life, Stanley never died. He is still alive to this day, as you can see, because he's telling his story. He never died at the prison, just like you see him do in the intro for Mob of the Dead. But as you see, the reporter tells us the same old story about how after all of them were locked up together, Al came up with this great plan to escape. He somehow managed to convince Sal DeLuca, who was the mob boss outside of the prison, to do this, which is weird because he's supposed to be a really smart guy. And once they all eventually agreed to the plan, they escaped their cells, but after that, the weasel had no idea what to do. This left the other mobsters frustrated, and they ended up killing him on the stone cold rooftop, leaving him to die. And then, of course, the 3 other inmates were found and sentenced to death by electric chair. It's the same story that we've heard before, but from another, not point of view, but from a third person, what someone else is telling us, which is actually quite interesting, and it's nice to get a recap of one of my favourite maps in Zombies. So let me know in the comment section below, what is your favourite zombie map out of all of the ones we've had, from World at War to Black Ops 3, maybe it's Revelations? To me, obviously, it's Mob of the Dead, with Origins coming in at a close second. But let me know your top 3 in the comment section below. I'll be interested to see that. But anyway, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Don't worry, I've got more radios to come. No, they are not coming late. Hit that subscribe button and I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.